What if I told you there's a villain who convinced millions to die for him without ever showing his face? A man so psychologically twisted that even after reading 249 chapters 4 times, I still can't fully explain how he did it. This is Friend from 20th Century Boys, and his story will mess with your head. Here's where it gets insane. Friend isn't just one person. We think we know who he is, but then he dies, and comes back, and dies again. But here's the kicker, was there ever really two friends? Or was it always the same person playing us like puppets? Even the creator, Naoki Urasawa, left clues that completely change everything. This masked figure manipulated doctors, scientists, police officers, turning them into cult followers. He caused not one, but 2 apocalypses, killed 99% of humanity, and became world president. But the most disturbing part? His entire revenge scheme started over. A stolen badge. One childhood incident that spiraled into global destruction. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Friend is considered one of the greatest villains in manga history. But I'm warning you, once you know his secret, you'll question everything. Who is Friend? How did he manipulate millions? And why does a song called 20th Century Boys hold the key to everything? All right, let's get into it. The origin, FUKUBE'S childhood. Meet Fukube, a kid in Kenji's class who had one simple dream, to be part of Kenji's friend group. These guys were legends at school. They had a secret base, they went on adventures, they were the talk of everyone. And Fukube? He was the outsider looking in. He tried everything, invited them to his house, tried to impress them, desperately wanted their attention. But friendships don't work that way, they just happen. And no matter how hard he tried, he could never break into their circle. And this is where Friend psychology starts forming. He began comparing himself to Michael Collins, the astronaut who orbited the moon but never walked on it. While Armstrong and Aldrin became legends, Collins stayed in the spaceship. Fukube saw himself as Collins, so close to greatness, but forever separated from it. This comparison tells you everything about his mental state. From such a small incident, he's building this entire identity of being the forgotten one. This jealousy, this need for recognition, it's going to destroy the world. Now, driven by this jealousy, Fukube discovers something that changes everything. The Book of Prophecy, Kenji's secret book at their base that predicts future events. And Fukube thinks, I can do better than this. So what does he do? He creates his own group with Sadakio, Yamane, and a mysterious kid named Katsumata. He writes his own new book of prophecy. And here's the important part, he tells everyone. Don't call me Fukube, call me Friend. From this moment, Fukube starts erasing his own identity. He doesn't want to be himself anymore. He wants to be someone else. Someone important. Someone people will remember. The mask begins. Here's where things get dark. In 1970, Fukube spreads rumors about an expo he's supposedly attending. The whole school's talking about it. Finally, he's getting the attention he craved. But here's the twist, he never actually goes. Instead, he stays home all summer, and whenever he goes outside, he wears Sadakio's mask. People start bullying him, thinking he's Sadakio. And then something creepy happens. He looks at himself in the mirror with the mask on and sees a blank face. No features, nothing. He goes home, looks again, and now he can see himself clearly. This scene is crucial. It shows Fukube's complete identity crisis. He literally asks himself, who am I? Am I Fukube, Sadakio, or Katsumata? He's so desperate to escape himself that he's becoming multiple people. Now, that same summer, he and Sadakio create a hanging doll prank at an abandoned house, scaring a couple. The rumor spreads, that house is haunted. And Fukube is thrilled because the whole city is talking about something he created. But then Kenji and his gang go to investigate, and they just laugh at the doll. They're not scared at all. Fukube's grand plan fails miserably. And the next day at school, everyone's talking about Kenji's adventure and they completely forget about the expo that Fukube had been hyping up. This is the moment. This is when Fukube's hatred for Kenji becomes permanent. Everything he does gets overshadowed by Kenji, and he's done being in the shadows. The Catalyst. Now let me introduce you to the most mysterious character in this entire series, Katsumata. His face is never shown, not once in 249 chapters. He always wears that same mask. And this is intentional. Urasawa is hiding him for the biggest twist. Here's Katsumata's tragedy. One day, he goes to an old lady's shop. He had won a prize and a badge. The shop is empty, so he leaves his winning coupon and takes his badge. Fair, right? But behind him, Kenji shows up and steals a badge too. Later, the old lady sees Katsumata with the badge and accuses him of stealing. She rips off his mask in front of everyone and humiliates him publicly. And just like that, Kenji becomes a pure evil figure in Katsumata's mind. That one misunderstanding destroyed his life. Fukube comes to him and says, "You died here today," and Katsumata believes it. He goes to the school rooftop to commit suicide. But then a song starts playing, 20th Century Boys. Kenji is practicing with his band during recess, and just hearing that song, Katsumata stops. He doesn't jump. That song, played by the person he hates most, saves his life. Remember this moment because this song becomes the key to everything. The same song that saved him will eventually be his downfall. The transformation. Now fast forward. That same year, 1971, Fukube does a hanging trick in the science room to impress his friends. He's trying to show them a miracle, but during the trick, something goes horribly wrong. The rope slips, and he actually starts choking. The scene cuts. We're not told what happens next. But here's where the mystery deepens. Did Fukube actually die that night, or was he saved? According to the original story, he was saved by Yamane and Katsumata. But the perfect edition suggests something else, that Fukube actually died that night. And Katsumata, who was a master of imitation, started living as Fukube from that point on. Think about it, we never see Fukube and Katsumata together after childhood. Katsumata's face is never shown. And later, people start suspecting that Friend isn't the real Fukube. But let's continue with the accepted timeline for now. Years later, adult Fukube joins a cult run by Manjomi. Here, he learns everything: how to manipulate people, how to build a following, how to make them believe in miracles. He learns the psychology of control, and then he creates his own cult. His talent? Making people believe his tricks are real. He flies on stage using wires, but followers think he's actually levitating. His speaking skills are so powerful that he brainwashes doctors, scientists, police officers, people from every profession. He tells them out-of-the-box ideas, makes them feel like they're part of something greater, something meaningful, and they follow him blindly. This is psychological manipulation at its finest. The Apocalypse. Now, here's where Friend's plan gets truly sinister. According to his new book of prophecy, he needs a holy mother. So he manipulates Kenji's sister Kiri, gets close to her, and when she becomes pregnant with Kana, he experiments on the unborn child, giving her psychic powers. He also forces Kiri to create a deadly virus and its vaccine. This is his master plan. Unleash a virus, let people die, then swoop in as the savior with the cure. Classic manipulation: create the problem, provide the solution, become the hero. By the year 2000, Friend's cult has grown massive. They've infiltrated politics, becoming the Friendship Democratic Party. They control lawyers, police, government officials. Friend has built an empire and no one even knows his face. Bloody New Year. December 31st, 2000, Bloody New Year's Eve. This is when Friend executes his prophecy. The virus spreads globally. Tokyo, London, New York, everywhere. People are dying by the thousands. But in Japan, there's something worse. A giant robot attacking the city, causing massive destruction. Kenji and his friends discover where Friend is controlling the robot from. They confront him, and here's where it gets theatrical. Friend appears with Sadakio, and in a dramatic scene, both of them fall from a building. Everyone thinks Friend is dead. But remember, the friend who died here is actually Katsumata in disguise. He's had plastic surgery to look like Fukube. The real Fukube is still hiding in the shadows, orchestrating everything. Meanwhile, Kenji destroys the robot with dynamite. He's the hero, right? Wrong. Because while this is happening, Manjom delivers the vaccine to world leaders, claiming Friend developed it. Friend sacrificed himself to save humanity. The plan works perfectly. Kenji's group is blamed for the destruction. Friend is hailed as a martyr who died saving the world. The Friendship Party gets honored by the UN. This is genius-level manipulation. Friend created the disaster, provided the cure, and became a global hero while making his enemies look like terrorists. The Resurrection. Time skip to 2014. 14 years after dying, Friend is now a global messiah. His face is everywhere. He rules Japan. The world worships him. Friend is no longer just a person. He's a brand, an ideology, a religion. But his final plan is about to unfold. On January 1st, 2015, according to prophecy, Friend is supposed to meet Yamane and Ocho in the school science room. And here's the twist. Yamane, consumed by guilt for creating the virus that killed millions, shoots Friend. And this time, Friend actually dies. For real. It's Fukube himself, the original Friend. His reaction shows genuine shock. He can't believe this is how it ends. This wasn't in the prophecy. I was so close to my goal. The world mourns. Millions attend his funeral at the expo ground. The Pope himself gives a speech. Friend's coffin lies there, with Katsumata's body inside it, not Fukube's. And then, during the Pope's speech, Friend stands up. He's alive. The stadium erupts. It's a miracle. But here's what really happened. Using virtual reality technology, Fukube and Katsumata switched bodies. The real Fukube is dead. Katsumata is now Friend forever. And to seal his godlike status, when an assassin tries to kill the Pope, Friend takes the bullet himself, saving him. The panel reads, "He became a god." This is the ultimate manipulation, faking death, resurrection, and self-sacrifice. Friend just became untouchable. The final apocalypse. 3 more years pass. Friend is now world president, and he unleashes his final plan, a virus so deadly it kills 99% of humanity. Out of 6 billion people, only 60 million survive. That's worse than any fictional apocalypse you've seen. Friend resets the calendar. The world now operates on Friend years. He creates fake UFOs that spread virus from the sky, making people believe aliens are attacking. His solution? Evacuate to Mars. But Manjom starts suspecting something's wrong. This doesn't feel like Fukube anymore. And he's right. Kana confirms it. This isn't the real Friend. Friend then does something shocking. He broadcasts to the world, admitting everything. I created the virus. I caused the robot attack. The prophecies were all lies. He reveals himself as the villain. Why? Because even Fukube's complete prophecy had been fulfilled. Now Katsumata was writing his own ending. The final battle comes. Kenji returns after 18 years. They rebuild the robot to fight the UFOs, but the remote falls into Friend's hands. Kenji confronts Friend at a recreation of their old town. Friend says, "Kenji-kun, you are the real evil. It was your mistake." He's talking about that badge, the incident that destroyed Katsumata's life. Kenji apologizes, but Friend says, "It's not that simple. Let's play, Kenji-kun." In the chaos, Ocho destroys 2 UFOs with the robot. The third crashes down on Friend, Sadakio, and Kenji. Kenji survives. Friend is dying. In his last moments, Friend makes one request. "Sing that song for me." And Kenji understands. He sings Gudala Sudala, the song that saved Katsumata from suicide decades ago. The same song Katsumata helped Kenji write as kids. At Kana's music festival, millions gather. They beg Kenji to sing Gudala Sudala, but he refuses. Why? Because those were Friend's lyrics. That was Katsumata's creation. Singing it would honor the man who destroyed the world. And with that, Friend dies. The The song that saved him became his requiem. Conclusion. But wait, there's one more twist. In the perfect edition, Urasawa added something that changes everything. What if Fukube died in 1971 during that hanging trick? What if Katsumata has been playing Fukube this entire time? What if there was only ever one friend, just playing multiple roles to confuse everyone? Evidence? We never see them together after childhood. Katsumata's face is never shown. Even Kiri suspected her husband wasn't really Fukube. And in the final pages, we learn that Gudala Sudala, the iconic song, was actually written by Katsumata, not Kenji. Kenji just performed it. This means the song that united millions against Friend was created by Friend himself. That's the genius of Naoki Urasawa. He created a villain so complex that even after it's over, we're still questioning what was real. Friend wanted attention. He wanted to be remembered. He wanted to be more than just the kid who orbited the moon but never walked on it. And in the end, he succeeded, because decades later, we're still talking about him. We're still trying to figure out who he really was. That's the study of a genius psychopath, someone who turned childhood rejection into global apocalypse, who made the world worship him while destroying it, and who proved that the most dangerous weapon isn't a virus or a robot, it's the human need to belong. Friend isn't just a villain. He's a mirror, showing us what happens when loneliness and jealousy consume someone completely. So, who is Friend? Maybe the real answer is it doesn't matter, because Friend was never about the person behind the mask. It was about the idea, the prophecy, the manipulation, the cult of personality, and that is what makes him truly terrifying. If you want me to analyze another psychopath, drop suggestions in the comments. And if this video messed with your head as much as reading the manga messed with mine, hit that like button and subscribe. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and remember, sometimes the person you trust most is wearing a mask you can't see.